These 8 useful English words will lift your fluency and your IELTS, TOEFL, or Cambridge score. And you won't just memorize them, you'll meet each one inside the story, then prove you caught it. That's how your brain remembers them for good. Maya always caught the last train home because it was empty and quiet. She never imagined that one night, that same empty train would nearly get her killed. It was 11:48. The station was cold and silent. Then a man came running toward her. Fast, breathing hard, his eyes wide and desperate. He pushed a small black box into her hands.
"Please,"
he whispered, his voice shaking with that same desperate fear.
"keep this safe, and whatever happens, don't trust the man in the gray coat."
Before she could say a word, he turned and vanished into the dark tunnel. People don't just vanish, Maya thought, but somehow he had. She looked down at the box. It was light and strangely cold. She was reluctant to keep it. Every part of her wanted to drop it on the platform and walk away. But the man's frightened face stayed in her mind, so she pushed the box into her bag and stepped onto the train. The carriage was empty, except for one person, a tall man in a long gray coat. He did not look at her. He simply sat perfectly still, holding a newspaper he never once turned. The air felt eerie, heavy, and wrong, like the silence before a storm. Maya's heart began to race. Part of her wanted to confront the stranger to ask what he wanted. But then, in the black glass of the window, she saw his reflection. He was watching her, and he was smiling. At the next station, she did not wait. She jumped up and fled through the closing doors, her feet hitting the platform as she ran. Behind her, the doors hissed open again. Footsteps, the gray coat was following. She ran through the empty streets, and they felt just as eerie as the train. Every dark shadow seemed to watch her. The box grew heavier with each step. Why had the stranger chosen her? Had he betrayed her, using her as a fool to carry something dangerous? Then she reached a dead end, a high stone wall. There was nowhere left to flee. Now Maya was the desperate one, her back against the cold stone, her hands shaking. The man in the gray coat walked slowly toward her. With nowhere to run, she had no choice but to confront him.
"Stay away from me!"
she shouted.
"I'll scream!"
The man stopped. Calmly, he reached into his coat and held up a small card.
"Police,"
he said quietly.
"Detective Cole. The man who gave you that box is a thief. He has robbed 3 banks this month. Tonight he needed someone to carry the diamonds past us at the checkpoint.
He paused.
He chose you.
Maya's mouth went dry.
"The diamonds."
Open the box."
With shaking fingers, she opened it. Inside, on soft black cloth, a dozen diamonds shone like ice under the streetlight. The frightened man had never been a victim. His fear had been an act, a perfect performance. He had betrayed her in the cruelest way, handing her the box so that if anyone was stopped, it would be her, not him. And his warning, "Don't trust the man in the gray coat," had been the cleverest trick of all. It had made her flee from the one person who could save her.
"He told you not to trust me."
The detective said, as if he could read her thoughts.
"Because he knew you would believe a frightened face over a calm one. People always do."
Maya stared at the card. She was still afraid, and still reluctant to trust anyone after everything that night.
"How do I know your badge is genuine?"
she asked. The detective smiled, and this time the smile was genuine.
"Smart question,"
he said.
"Most people never ask."
He turned the card over. Under the streetlight, the official seal shone, solid and real. Then, far away, she heard them. Sirens, real ones coming closer. Maya let out a long breath and held out the box.
"Take it,"
she said.
"I never want to see another diamond again."
Detective Cole took it carefully. Then he looked into the box, and his smile slowly faded.
"There's just one problem,"
he said softly.
"What?"
"The report said 12 diamonds.
He turned the box toward her.
There are only 11 here."
And somewhere in the dark, quiet city, a man in a torn jacket smiled to himself, slipped one last diamond deep into his pocket, and vanished into the night, exactly as he had always planned. "Now, did you catch all 8? Let's find out." An adjective for feeling so hopeless you'll do almost anything. It's the feeling of having nothing left to lose. The stranger's wide eyes on the platform had exactly this look. He was what enough to hand a total stranger a box of diamonds.
The word is desperate.
He ran toward her, his eyes wide and desperate. A verb meaning to disappear suddenly and completely. One moment there, the next gone without a trace. The thief did this twice. Into the tunnel, then into the night. He seemed to do what? As if he had never existed at all?
The word is vanish.
He turned and vanished into the dark tunnel. An adjective for being unwilling and hesitant to do something. Part of you wants to say a firm no and walk away. Maya felt it as she held the cold black box. She was what to keep the frightened stranger's box.
The word is reluctant.
She was reluctant to keep it, but his face stayed in her mind. An adjective for strange and frightening in a quiet, unsettling way. It's the wrong, heavy calm before something bad happens. The silent man and his unturned newspaper made the carriage feel it. The empty train had in what kind of atmosphere?
The word is eerie.
The air felt eerie, heavy, and wrong, like the silence before a storm. A verb meaning to run away from danger. It's what you do when staying means being harmed. Maya did this through the closing train doors. She chose to do what rather than face the smiling man?
The word is flee.
She jumped up and fled through the doors as they began to close. A verb meaning to be disloyal to someone who trusted you. It's turning a trusting person into a victim for your own gain. Maya feared the first man had done this to her. The thief was happy to do what to a stranger to save himself?
The word is betray.
Had he betrayed her, using her as a fool to carry the diamonds? A verb meaning to face or challenge someone directly. It's stopping running and standing your ground. At the dead-end wall, Maya finally turned to do this. She braced herself to do what to the man in the gray coat?
The word is confront.
She finally found the courage to confront her boss about the unpaid overtime. An adjective for being real and not fake. It's the opposite of a clever forgery or an act. Maya needed to know if the detective's badge was this. She asked whether his police card was truly what?
The word is genuine.
How do I know your badge is genuine? Quick recap. How many do you still remember?
Desperate. Vanish. Reluctant. Eerie. Flee. Betray. Confront. Genuine.
New English story every day. Subscribe and learn useful words the way your brain actually remembers them, in a story.